My dear students, now we have to discuss something about resumes. Electronic resumes may either be in a chronological or functional format. These are the two main formats of any resume, particularly electronic resume, chronological and functional. The chronological resume is organized by job title with the most recent position listed first. For example, you are a marketing manager from January 2014 to till date. So you have to mention that particular position in the first. Then you have to move backward and you have to mention your other recent positions. So in a chronological format, you have to list the title with the most recent position listed first. That is important point in the chronological resume. Applicants who submit chronological resume generally have a history of experience in one traditional field. For example, someone is a marketing manager, someone is a sales manager, someone is a lecturer, someone is a producer. So they need to mention their particular field, their particular traditional field. And they are most of the time working in that particular traditional field from so many years. And plan on pursuing a job in that same field and have no visible gaps. If you have visible gaps, chronological format is not a good idea. So if you don't have any visible gap, any long gap in your job experience, then chronological format is the best. In time between jobs and have been with most of their employers for a minimum of 1 to 2 years. So you can mention the job which you have worked for 1 to 2 years. Anyone looking at their resumes would be able to determine in a matter of seconds exactly when and where they have worked and what they have done at each job. So 3 things you need to mention in a chronological format. 1, the time period from this date to this date you have worked for this particular company on this particular position. And you are doing these particular jobs or major tasks in that particular period. So 4 things. 1 is a time period. 2nd is a company. 3rd is a position or the job title. 4th is the major responsibilities or the major tasks you have accomplished in that company. This is a typical format of any chronological resume. So employers tend to prefer the chronological resume because the format lists prior positions beginning with the most current, and chronological resumes are generally perceived as a fact-based and easier to scan. What to scan? It is easier to scan your time period, your company, your position, and your major responsibilities. And by this way, the employers can match your job skills and qualification with their job requirement. So most of the employers used to prefer chronological format. In contrast, my dear students, functional resumes are also very workable for some special kind of candidates. Functional resumes are arranged according to the areas of skills and accomplishment you have performed in your previous jobs. They are typically submitted by applicants with diverse experiences in non-traditional fields that don't add up to a definable direction. For example, a functional resume may be preferred by college students with minimal or unrelated job, internees or volunteer experience people, and by individuals hoping to move into a field different from what they have been involved in to date. So it is not for all professionals. It is for those people who have less experience, who are switching jobs in a very different industry. So functional resume is more suitable for such kind of professional. Particularly people with significant gaps in employment also tend to favor functional resume, hoping to draw attention away from periods of unemployment. Because functional resume is the best if you want to draw attention of your employer away from your unemployment period, and you are highlighting more to your generic skills you know and you have learned from your previous job. Some employers dislike this arrangement. Why? Because finding it difficult to match the skills identified with actual job titles, levels, or area of responsibilities and dates. So it is difficult to match job requirement with the skills of the applicant. So most of the employers try to avoid functional resume format, and they used to prefer chronological format of resume.